Well, hello and welcome to Dimos Intuitive Arts. My name is Stephanie, and I'm welcoming you to our YouTube channel, Reflections for Real Life. This channel is a space where we like to meet once a week to stick a little pause in our day, depending on when you find us. And we use art and creativity and everyday experience as a way to provide deeper reflection into our own lives. We're not looking for perfect answers, but we just are suggesting some things and using art so that we could see our lives a little bit more clearly. So we're so glad you're here. Today, I'd like to introduce you to an artist named Helen Frankenthaler. And Helen Frankenthaler was born in New York City in 1928. And one of the pieces that I'm going to be using today is called Mountains and Sea. And she did this piece when she was only 23 years old. She came from a very intellectually rich family. So she had a lot of support and an opportunity to also study with some pretty impressive people. One of them was Hans Hofmann. And Hans Hofmann was a leader in approaching art in a very modern way, moving toward abstract expressionist. So he was thinking about things like space and movement, things that people really hadn't been exploring much before this time. So Helen Frankenthaler was very influenced and inspired by Hans Hofmann, and she created this piece experimenting with the materials. So she took a canvas, which we usually prime first. We prime the surface so that the paint won't bleed into the material, but that's what she wanted. And she looked at a natural landscape of mountains and sea, and she chose colors which reflected that. And what her intention was to inspire us to have a certain feeling toward that. Now, as you're looking at this piece, please know that my printer did not blur it. There's nothing wrong with this print. What she did with intention was to blur the lines. She wanted to blur the outer boundaries of the actual scene. And that's a beautiful parallel to what I'd like you to reflect on today. There are times in our life, many, especially as adults, where we want to precisely pursue end result with clarity and great focus. And we like to control that. And no doubt we put a lot of effort and a lot of time into that expectation being met. But what we miss out on is precisely what I think Frankenthaler was trying to get us to think about, which is sometimes if we just have a little fun and experiment with an idea and approach it with embracing sometimes that the edges are blurred, right? And not so clear, beautiful, beautiful things can happen, like this beautiful painting. She had to fight her way through into the world of art history because being born in 1928 and creating such a magnificent piece when she was so young, she was also oftentimes overshadowed by the many men who were moving in this artistic movement. But she has become known for being pivotal in the abstract expressionist movement. And as such, this piece is a very important piece. Like when you create something in your life and you allow the magic of blurring the lines and not being so much in control coming to life. So for today, what I'd like to offer you out is, and you could write this down if you want, if you're keeping a journal of reflections, I'd like you to ponder this idea. Think about something that you're working on. Maybe it's something professionally. Maybe it's an actual product or an idea, or maybe it's in a relationship to somebody, a partner, a friend, children, even, where you feel like you are very clear on the outcome, the thing that you want to happen, right? What could you do that blurs those expectations just a little bit, allowing for the freedom of surprise to come into fruition and the creation, the end product, to perhaps even bloom into something that's a little bit bigger than what you could possibly have expected? Think about that. Think about the thing and think about what it could look like and feel like if you just blurred the edges just a tiny bit, maybe even blurring them a lot. And that really is where the surprises and the magic happens. I'd like to leave you with a quote by Helen Frankenthaler because, again, it's really, really beautiful and connects with what I suggest that we think about today. A really good picture looks as if it's happened all at once, but it really hasn't. When we think about creating something, we don't want it to look so controlled and perfect. We want it to have a little bit of that blurry aspect. That is the human part of it. That is the human product when we start to look at artwork such as Frankenthaler's Mountains and Sea. It's what appeals to us. Maybe it's in the colors, maybe it's in the blurred edges, maybe it's just the experience of having fun and running an experiment. I offer this out to you from my heart to yours. We are so happy that you're here. And we would be so humbled if you went to our site, Dimos Intuitive Arts, see what workshops are coming up. Maybe you'd like to join us and register. We have a constantly evolving and growing community, and we'd love for you to be part of it. Please feel free to leave our comments and also email us if you have other questions, suggestions, and offerings. Have an absolutely wonderful day. And again, so glad that you're here.